Parkview Medical Center was awarded Best Hospital in Southern Colorado. We are just a hop, skip, and a jump away. And we're here to make sure you keep hopping, skipping, and jumping. Parkview Medical Center, caring for you.
Live from Rocky Mountain PBS, this is Homework Hotline. Homework Hotline is your opportunity to get help with your homework problems. Call 1-800-388-6184 to be on the Homework Hotline.
Are you lucky that you tuned in today? We have all kinds of sweet things going on. So we hope that you stay tuned. Of course, we want you to call in and ask us some math and science questions. That's what the show is. But we also have some special guests, as you can see. I'm Betty Lee. I'm a retired math teacher from Centennial High School, and I have a substitute partner today.
My name is Thomas Murray, and I'm from Central High School, and I teach science.
And we're here to help you with your math and science questions today, so we hope you call in. Don't forget it's Friday. What does that mean? It means we have 2 prizes today, right? We have the brain teaser. Yeah, it's going to be special. And we also have the secret word. So we want you dialing up some good answers here for us today. And in the meantime, we want to introduce our guests. So, Sean, do you want to go first?
I'm Cadet 3rd Class Sean McCarty from USAFA. I'm in Cadet Squadron 6, Raging Bull 6, and I'm a civil engineering major.
Okay, and Winston?
I'm Cadet 1st Class Winston Sanks from Cadet Squadron 3, also from the Air Force Academy, and I'm an astronautical engineering major.
Okay, now, I'm not real sharp, okay, so does that mean you're, I'm just a college person, so does that mean you're first year, second year, third? I don't know what that means.
I'm in my 2nd year at USAFA, so I'm a sophomore.
So you're a sophomore, okay, and majoring in civil engineering.
Yes, ma'am.
And you are a
Senior.
Senior. Oh,
Almost
getting
there.
close, right? Gonna toss the hat pretty quick in May, right?
Looking forward to it.
All righty. And then when you're in service like this, you have a commitment after service, don't you?
Yes, ma'am.
And what kind of a commitment? We want to encourage kids to get really, really, really good grades, math and science. And that means you have to have really good grades to be nominated to go to the Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs, right? But after you're there for 4 years and you graduate, you have a commitment, don't you?
Yes, ma'am.
And how long is that?
Well, depending on your career field, Sean wants to be a civil engineer.
I would have a minimum commitment of 5 years, and then plus some time in the reserves.
Okay, and?
I just got a pilot slot, so I'll be in for 10.
Oh, so you get a fly.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
I got to graduate first.
You got to graduate first, yeah. But when you get to fly, that means then that you go to a pilot training center, don't you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and how long is that commitment?
Oh, well, that is inclusive. So
Okay.
the pilot training lasts for about a year.
All right. Oh, how exciting. Well, while we're waiting to ask them some more questions and talk about why we're here today, let's go ahead and go to our brain teaser. And of course, this is math related, right? And of course, I know you guys are going to give me the right answer because today's the day to call in, right? John bowled games of 105 and 190. What must he bowl on the third game to get an average of 150? So I hope you're dialing really quick with your fingers, 1-800-388-6184, because when you have the right answer, we're giving you a great prize. We're giving you the Skyrider, okay, which is a rocket, 26 inches tall. Boy, it's going to be fun to ignite it. Mr. Strobel says it's awesome. So make sure that you call in and give us a good answer on that, because I think you can do this, okay? All righty. Well, in the meantime, I feel like all I'm doing is talking. So, Tom, did you want to say anything since you're our guest today?
I'm very happy to meet the 2 men from the Air Force Academy. I want to hear more about what they have to talk about.
All right, that sounds good. And it's really important, okay, for kids to realize how important math and science are. And boy, just because these guys are guys, okay, women go there now, right?
Yes, yes.
And so how many women are in respect, what are they, a ratio 1 to 4, 1 to 5?
It's generally about a quarter. It's like 1 to 3.
Okay.
That's about it. It
So
changes year to year quite a bit.
Well, depending on who gets in because of nominations and grades and scores and all that, right? So that means, girls, guess what? If you really want to be like Winston going into piloting a plane, now's the time to get started. And they do have women pilots anymore. Okay, so.
Definitely.
What is the nomination process for the Air Force Academies or any academies?
It's a pretty long process. It starts with like you apply to the academy, and then once you get going with that, it's like they generally accept you. You have to have pretty good test scores, but even if you don't, there's chances, like just because you're not good at academics, you can be good at other things too. It's like you need to be, try some leadership stuff, do sports. They look at everything. It's a whole person concept.
Yes.
Well-rounded.
And also that does mean physical. Very definitely physical, because isn't the first, when you're first going in the first year, don't you have a real tough physical thing to go through?
Yeah, there's a lot of push-ups. It's challenging. It's very challenging, but it's definitely worth it.
Oh boy, if you've ever been to an Air Force Academy football game, every time you guys score, right? Everybody does push-ups, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah, so that builds up upper body strength, right? So, and it's fun to go to a game. The scenery is gorgeous, the mountains, it's a beautiful setting. And you have a decent football team this year, don't you?
Yes, ma'am. And we're going to beat Navy tomorrow.
Oh, is
There
that
you go.
already coming up?
Yes,
Oh,
ma'am.
Great.
Commander-in-Chief trophy this year?
Yeah, absolutely. It's happening.
Okay.
We hope so. Because we're from this neck of the woods, and we sure do want to root for them. Now, I've talked a lot, but let's see if we have a lot of different displays here. So should we kind of talk about those a little bit?
Absolutely.
All right. Shall we start with this one?
That one's my favorite one.
Okay. So let's get it up so that they can see it really good. But Winston, we can't see you. So come over to the side here. I'll step out, and you go ahead and talk a little bit about it.
All right. Well, as I mentioned, I'm an astronautical engineering major, and there we focus on how to build spacecraft and also rocketry as well. And if you want to go to space, that's definitely a good route to go. As you see here, we've had 18 astronautical engineering majors go and be an astronaut either with the Space Shuttle program and gone to the ISS, and continuing now, even after the Space Shuttle program.
Tilt it a little bit.
Oh,
You're
just a
getting
little
that.
bit?
Yeah, like
there we
that.
go. So that's certainly one route. It's not the only one, but it's definitely a successful one, if that's something you're interested in.
All righty, and of course here, if you can see the different topics, out of those 18, they've had 3 that majored in mathematics and engineering, mechanics, and et cetera. And of course, this is a pie graph, right, which is right up mathematical. Anyway, it belongs in the math era, right? So it shows that you can be any kind of a major because you do major in things like they're emphasizing at the academy, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you come out with a degree. Is that a BS degree then?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And interestingly, at the academy, no matter what degree you get a Bachelor of Science degree. So you can have a Bachelor of Science degree in English.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's an interesting one.
All right, well, I guess I'm going to go to work a little bit. I didn't catch who that was. Who was that? Hi. You're calling it with a math question. What's your name?
Christian.
Christian. And where are you calling us from today, Christian?
Out of Osprey.
All right. And what grade are you in?
What?
What grade are you in school?
6th.
6th grade? Well, I'm glad you called today because I sure want to help you with your math. So go ahead and give me your problem. What is it?
683.
I'm sorry. Can you turn your TV down? Because all I hear is me, and I'm not hearing you really good. So I don't want to hear me.
Yeah, hang on.
Okay, did you turn it down?
All right, 683.
683, okay.
Divided by 45.
By 45. Oh, gosh. It's that old bugaboo long division, isn't it? And if you notice, it's a halfway divisor, isn't it? Because when I go through division, I don't want to do it really. I want to do it the easiest way possible. So I take the divisor and I round it to the nearest tens place. And that's why I said, oh my gosh, it's halfway. Because it's going to be 50, isn't it? So the very first thing we do is divide, don't we? So I'm going to take my imaginary divider, the one that I rounded, and I'm going to take it into the first number. And I say, oh, you know what? 5 goes into 6 once, doesn't it? So now I have an idea what I'm going to multiply by. But when I multiply by the real divisor. Of course, that's identity, isn't it? So 45 times 1 is 45. Now, after the multiplying, I'm going to subtract, but I want to enter that 1 right above where I'm going to start my subtraction process. So 8 take away 5 is 3, 6 take away 4 is 2, and I think this is a step that kids kind of forget. Make sure you can't get another group of your divisor out of that remainder, and we can't. We're doing great, aren't we? So bring down the 3. Now we're going to repeat this cycle, aren't we, by dividing. So I'm going to use my trial divisor. 5 into 2, gosh, that won't work, will it? Let's take 5 into 23 then. Well, we're thinking of our 5 times tables, aren't we? And we want something closest to 23, but not going over. So I see to myself, 5 times 1 is 5, 5 times 2 is 10, 5 times 3 is 15, 5 times 4 is 20, 5 times 5 is 25. That looks like that's going to be too much, so I'm going to try 4. So I go back to my real divisor, and I'm going to multiply by 4. Times tables, right, boys and girls? 5 times 4 is 20, let's carry. 4 times 4 is 16, plus 2 is 18. Well, that looks like quite a bit of room, doesn't it? So before we subtract, well, let's go ahead, and that'll bring out another point I'm talking about. Let's try the 4 then, and do 180. And we're up to the subtraction step, aren't we? 3 take away 0, uh-oh, gotta borrow here, don't we? 13 take away 8. Oh, remember that important check part? Isn't that too big? So that means that we have to go back, and we did not pick a big enough one, which we kind of knew, but I wanted to make sure you saw that so that you do stop and check. So 45 times 5, 5 times 5 is 25, 4 times 5 is 20, plus 2 is 22, so I get 225, don't I? Don't forget to enter that 5 in your quotient line. And then we subtract and borrow. 13 take away 5, 2 take away 2. There isn't any other number to bring down. So in 6th grade, it just depends. Sometimes you go to decimals, sometimes you do remainders. It just depends on what you wanted. So I'm going to just say that I have 8 left over. That's my numerator. 45 is my denominator. I try to check to see if I could reduce it at all. But remember, 8's only divisible by 2 and 4, which neither go into 45 evenly. So I hope that helps. Thanks for calling. Bye-bye. All right. Well, shall we look at some of these other signs, or shall we talk about the important thing that is coming up in October that people might be interested in?
Oh, we're on. Yes.
All right, so what's going on in October?
So the Cool Science Carnival, that's happening at the University of Colorado at Colorado Springs.
Okay.
It's a celebration. It's typically almost the whole city comes out to it. It's great.
Oh, good.
And basically, we will be demonstrating some of the demonstrations we have. We bring the mechanical engineering's robot, we'll bring the electrical engineering's department's solar cars, and
Wow.
we'll bring the astronautical engineering's hybrid rocket, which is a favorite. And basically, we will be demonstrating just all the cool things you can do with science and technology. And throughout the whole entire festival, so will everybody else in the city.
And
So
this is called the Cool Science
Carnival. Yes,
and
sir.
what day is it again?
October 24th.
October 24th. And that's all day starting when?
Should start about 7 in the morning.
7 in the morning.
Yes, sir.
And just that day.
Just the day.
Just that day. And where is it located?
The
Where is it?
University of Colorado at Colorado Springs.
All right. Do we have an address?
Not off the top of my head. No, I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, put it on your calendar, and you can always look it up, right? So it sounds really like
does.
something parents
It
would
sounds
really like
really
to take your
exciting.
child to, especially if you're, well, elementary school would be really good too, but middle school, getting these kids pushed more into the math sciences, right? Before they get into high school and decide that all of a sudden they want to do something special, right? So middle school is really important to get involved and kind of make some decisions. And parents and grandparents, that it's you too, this might be a good idea to attend, right?
Let's do secret word.
Oh, you know what?
It's time for our secret word.
Yeah. Why don't you read the clue
All
for
right,
us?
we got our secret word coming up.
Don't read that yet.
Oh, we're not going to read it yet. They're going to tell us in just a second.
right.
All right.
There we go.
McDonald's presents today's secret word. McDonald's is proud to support public television for Southern Colorado and Homework Hotline.
All right, now for our secret word. What is the second smallest planet in the solar system? What is the second smallest planet in the solar system?
And of course, this is a Mr. Strobel because he teaches astronomy and he's not here today. But I'm sure that there's someone out there that knows the answer, don't you
I'm
think,
sure
Tom?
they are. I'm
Yeah.
sure there's multiple people that know the answer.
Right on. And so we want you to call at 1-800-388-6184, and then we're going to give them.
We're going to give them 2 extra value meals from McDonald's. So they will get 2 extra value meals. So come with the right answer, get you 2 extra value meals from McDonald's.
Yes, with the French fries
French
and
fries.
drink, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you can have chicken McNuggets if you like that too, right? Yum, yum. That does sound pretty
Kind
good.
of does. Might have to go get some dinner after this.
Yeah. Well, right now, we want to really let you know